and welcome to Let's Talk with Lakshmi, a show about us, our people, our community, our culture, our experiences. And today in the studio, we have none other than Miss Bindhu Kholi. Bindhu, welcome to Let's Talk with Lakshmi.
Thank you, Lakshmi. It's a real pleasure being here. I hear you're doing a really good job.
Oh, thank you so much.
You must be learning from me.
I am. I mean, of course. I mean, I have so much to learn from you, from a lot of people in our community. So I have to thank you for leading the way for someone like me.
Thank you. That's really nice of you to say that. Thank you.
So Bindhu, we all know you as a person very much involved in the entertainment world. Tell me a little bit about, tell us, enlighten us about your life experiences in the entertainment world.
You know, unfortunately, Lakshmi, this is only a 30-minute show.
Ah!
If we had like maybe a whole week to talk about Bindhu, no. You know, I've been doing a lot of shows. It's been great. The entertainment world has its ups and downs.
Of course.
I've also, as you know, been in the TV, been hosting shows. IET, very popular show. And, you know, it's just been great. I've brought a lot of Bollywood stars to the community out there, you know, from Karishma Kapoor to Priyanka Chopra, brought the singers, you know, and there's other promoters out there who've been doing that, and hats off to them. But I think what sets me apart from the other promoters is that I bring these Bollywood stars right here in the community, you know, rather than going to, say, Nassau Coliseum, pay such a high price, you know. The community, the people out there can see these Bollywood stars right in Queens, sometimes in the heart of Richmond Hill, and, you know, have close access to them.
Right, great. Now, I know you cater a lot to the Indo-Caribbean community, so I personally want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Now, just tell me, how did you get started with that?
You know, I've been, I was on ITV. I was doing the very famous Saturday Morning Live. Sure, all of you out there remember Give Me a Clue, Give Me a Clue. You know, it was a live show that I was doing.
So did people call in?
Yeah, it was a live call-in show. People would call in, and, you know, I used to tell the producers of ITV they should change the name to Give Me a Clue, because everybody would just call and I'd give out a question and basically they'd have to answer it. So rather than asking, the first thing they would say is give me a clue. I'd be like, come on, no clues, try to answer the question, you know. So I was doing that, and people loved the show, and I want to thank ITV. I mean, they're the ones who started me out, and you know, I have a very soft spot to them. And, you know, it became very popular, the show, and then, you know, other West Indian promoters would have shows. They would ask me, you know, to MC their events and everything. So it's kind of just started from there. I have to say one thing. I mean, the West Indian people, you know, they're great. They're so much into the culture.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and I think that's what I love, you know, and it was great to be, you know, I'm East Indian. But I think even West
Indian... Now, where in
India,
are you from?
I'm from Delhi.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in Delhi, but believe it or not, I only lived in India for about 3 years.
Okay.
But I do speak the language. I do read and write the language.
So you moved from Delhi to New York?
No, actually, when I was about a year ago, maybe just like 10 years back, no. My parents, we moved to Africa. Lived there in a great country called Zambia.
Zambia.
Yeah, we lived there for about, I would say about 8 years. Moved back to India, lived there for 3 years, and then...
Can you speak anything in African, like those languages?
No, I don't.
Click, click.
But I do know some African jokes.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think we can say
it on air?
No. Okay. This is a family show, right?
It is.
Yeah, so
we'll save that for after the show.
Yes.
So, Bindhu, tell me about, I know you do a lot of beauty pageants, right?
Yeah.
And I believe it's a yearly thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a yearly thing. I do pageants. When I started off, we were doing Miss Diwali, Miss Holi, and, you know, but last few years it's called Miss International.
Okay.
Because what was happening was, you know, that every year, whenever I do the pageants, I bring a Bollywood star. And
you bought Priyanka last year, no?
Yes, well, this year. In
January,
this
year, okay.
I had Priyanka Chopra. I bought Shilpa Shetty, Karishma Kapoor, Mahima Chaudhary, Urmila, you know, all the pretty much, lots more, but we don't have time to mention all of them. But, you know, so I changed the name to Miss International because what was happening was when it was like a Miss Holi or a Miss Diwali, it was really catering to just the West Indian community.
Okay.
And what was happening was the girls from the East Indian wanted to enter the pageant. Not that they couldn't, but you know, it was just a decision I made and said, you know what, let's just call it Miss International. So anybody, you know, of Indian descent could enter the pageant.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Now, your relationships with these Bollywood stars, I mean, how did you get that? I mean, I know it must be, first of all, very expensive to bring someone here. And
Yes.
then not only the expense, but you probably have to have some type of relationship with someone or the other to be able to
You know
bring
what?
them here. I don't
You
think
know,
it's that
actually,
easy.
I'm glad you brought that up, but I'll tell you, no. I don't have any relation with these Bollywood stars.
Okay.
And the thing is, to be honest, even if you do, I hate to say this, and Bollywood will probably kill me for saying this, they don't really care if you're friends or if you're family. Money is money.
Right.
So,
They want to get paid.
yes, and you know what? You can't blame them. It's their work. You know, that's their type of work. So obviously they want to get paid for their work. So it's not true. I am not related to anybody. I have no relation. I do have a couple of good friends, but I don't use them to get artists for my show.
Any names?
Well, Poonam Dhillon is my best friend in
Okay.
India. Yeah, she's my best friend. I have Kavita Krishnamurthy is a good friend of mine. Hari Haran.
Oh, very
He's an amazing friend of mine that I have known
I
for
actually
years.
just recently went to a show he had in New Jersey.
Yes, A.R. Rahman.
Right.
Yes, yes. And he's a very good friend of mine. Aruna Irani, you know, I have quite a few
Great
friends.
contacts.
Yeah, but the thing is, as I said, I don't use them to get, you know, these stars. What really matters, and I'll tell you, is that my credentials.
Okay.
You know, whenever I bring a star, you know, we stick to the contract, the professionalism, the quality of the show, all that really matters. So that's how I build my resume. So, you know, if I bring Karishma Kapoor and I approach, let's say, Priyanka Chopra, I can say, well, hey, you know what, Karishma came
was on my show.
to my show. So then Priyanka will think, oh, well, you know what, it's got to be
That's
a good
a
show
big deal,
if Karishma can come.
So tell me, who out of everybody that you bought is your favorite?
In terms of work ethics,
Okay.
I will have to say Karishma Kapoor. Amazing, amazing professional person. You know, and she was the biggest risk I took, not in terms of a monetary aspect, but in terms of the contract deal. Normally when I bring these stars, you know, half is given to them in India and then half is given when they come here. That's the kind of contract I do with them. But she was one star who said, and at that time when I bought her, she was quite big, and she said, no, all my money has to be given before I get on the plane, otherwise I will not come.
That's a huge
So
risk.
I said, well, what happens if you decide
show
to
up.
say, well, hey, I missed the flight? And she said, I'm a professional. And at that time, she was engaged to Abhishek.
Abhishek.
And that night was the engagement, the night that she had to fly to come for my show. So, you know, it was all over in the papers, Karishma, Abhishek getting engaged on such and such date. And I'm like, why? Why? Why does she have
What's
to get
gonna
engaged
happen?
tonight, you know? I'm like calling her up and I'm like, hey, congratulations, but what about my show? She's like, you know what? I'm a professional.
I'll be there.
I will be there. And sure enough, she went, the engagement party, after a couple of hours, got on a plane, was here. Very professional. I didn't have to even, you know, I just gave her the timings. If you need to rehearse, Limo's going to pick you up at this time. This time you will be, you know, ready for the show. Amazing.
You told us about one of your best experiences. Tell us any bad stories of being on stage.
Amisha Patel. Yes, why not? I might as well give some scoop to the people out there.
Okay.
When I bought her, I told her that, listen, 6 o'clock, you know, I start 8 o'clock on the dot. And I had bought Amisha and Poonam Dhillon together for that event. And I wanted to start the show with a dance item and then have them right on stage. So they had to be there for the beginning of the stage of the show. And you know, so I told her 6 o'clock. The limo will be there. I normally tell them, you know, a time like half hour, an hour before, you know. So. And she's like, no problem. So, you know, my limo driver is calling me, I'm here. She's not coming down. And I'm like, okay. And I'm calling her. She's not answering the phone. And I'm having like, oh my God, you know, I'm at the venue, like almost, you know, hyperventilating, having a heart attack. And I'm like calling her. Finally, 7 o'clock, she picks up. And I'm like, hey, you know, what's going on? You know, where are you? And she's like, oh, I've been here. I said, no, you haven't. I've been calling you. And she's like, oh, well, I went shopping. And I'm like, okay, what a nice time to go shopping, you know. And, you know, well, to make a long story short, she made it, but, you know, she kind of yelled at me. And I had to yell back at her.
Yeah, I mean, well, she's out of contract, right?
Yeah, well, you know, she was like, well, Bindhu, I think you're speaking rudely to me. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I love you. I'm not speaking rudely. Just get here.
Just get here on time. Stick to contract.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bindhu is a very, very old friend of mine. Very, very, but no, she's not as old as me. She's probably half my age. But I've known her for many years, from the time she was a very small girl. And today I have to thank Bindhu because it's because of her I'm here in front of all of you. Thank you, Bindhu.
Hi. Good evening. Well, I'd just like to say I'm really happy to be here tonight. And
oh, come on! Great! I love it! I can't dance. They came to see you dance. Come on! Woo! All right!
congratulations to my sweetheart here. I think she's extremely talented here in 2000, and she had this wonderful show. I always think of her as someone full of energy, and I'm sure she'll be able to entertain.
How would you propose to me?
I would give up all the rum drinking and the partying.
Okay, okay. So, would you and you do anything for me?
I would.
I would do anything, probably whatever you asked me to do.
Would you?
Yep.
You would too?
Of course.
Okay, so let's be a little naughty here tonight. Can we do that? All right. Have you seen my film called Dostana?
Yes. Yes. Woo!
Okay, so since you're tall and everything, you be Abhishek.
Okay.
And you can be John because you're strong and muscular.
Okay, thank you.
And woo me. I'm going to play a song and woo each other because that's what the theme of the film was about. Okay. Be John and Abhishek in Dostana on this song, and we'll take a pick on who's a better performer, and he stays. Come on. Can we have the song, please? Let's see. It's tough. Yes, each other.
Okay.
I'm here too. Come on. You can follow the dancers. Just follow them.
देखता है तू क्या खुल के बता दे ओ रसिया देखता है तू क्या माने तेरे तोड़ूंगी ना मैं वादा आधा हिस्सा मेरे तो दिल की कहानी का तू पिया मैं बाकी आधा देखो ना देखो मुझे क्या हुआ है तेरी यादों में खोकर
I know you did something back in January and in July, and
Yeah.
you know it's almost December. What are we gonna have next from you, Bindhu?
Yeah, July, I had Kavita Krishnamurthy, Priyanka Chopra was in January, and you know, then I'm sort of in this transitional phase as far as the TV is concerned. You know, everybody out there knows that ITV, you know, is no longer there. But I am doing other stuff as far as TV is concerned. I did promise the people when I said goodbye on ITV that, you know, that wasn't the end of me. You can't get rid of me that easy. But I'm doing other projects, and as far as the events are concerned, you know, the economy unfortunately has been kind of on the down low. And I've taken that opportunity to pursue the other projects and to kind of take it easy. You know, I'm more in a
Relaxed mode.
yeah. I'm more actually. You know, Lakshmi, I'm in a different frame right now. But I do have stuff coming up next year. I'm actually working on a really huge project. The thing about me is that every show that I do, every event that I do, I always want to make it better than the last one. So you know, when I bought Priyanka Chopra, I was like, okay, what next? I mean, what can I do now? You know, Priyanka Chopra is the top. Well, you know,
With her husband, Abhishek.
dealing with the Bachchans is not that easy, and you know, I might not be that young, but I still value my life right now. I would probably have a heart attack that way, no. But, you know, when I did Priyanka Chopra, it was like, okay, what next? And actually, you know, my friend Joel and I were talking about it. And he was like, okay, what next now, Bindhu? You know, you keep moving up, and you bought Priyanka, who's at the top, you know. What do you do now? So I was like, you know what, you're right. And then Kavita Krishnamurthy, she's a good friend of mine, and she was touring, so I said, you know what, let me just do that event for, honestly, it was for the fun of it.
Okay.
It wasn't anything to make any money, it was for the people out there, to bring Kavita Krishnamurthy right in the heart of Richmond Hill. And I did, I bought her in Maracas, and it was a nice event. So I have big projects next year that takes up a lot of time, and it's actually the whole planning of this big event that I'm doing is in actuality 6 months of planning.
6 month planning. Sounds
Right.
like something
so
big.
it's really something big. It's in the works already, but you know.
Now, can I ask, is this something TV or media related? Is it something concert related?
It's something
Singing related?
It's singing, concert, media, Bollywood, everything.
Everything, okay.
Yeah, it's a nice concept that when I approached a few people to come along with me, they loved it. And I know the people out there are going to love it. So,
what advice would you give me? I mean, you've been in this for years. You have a lot of experience. I'm sure a lot of people out there look up to you. Look at the shows that you do, the great performances that you bring to the stage, the opportunities that you're giving all these young children to be in beauty pageants, to dance on stage, to perform. I'm starting out now. What advice would you give me?
Well, make sure you have a good doctor to check your health. No.
Okay.
No. On a serious note, what advice I would give you is really believe in yourself. Okay. I have always been a positive person. I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life. I mean, Joel says he's writing a book. I said, you know what, please give me like 10 chapters in that book so he could write about me. But, I've had a lot of ups in my life, but I have to say one thing, and that is that, I truly believe so much in God.
Yes.
And I truly have been, that has been one force in my life. Yes, to the people out there, you don't see me in temples, but that doesn't mean that God is not a huge part of my life. He really is. And, in order to have God in your life, you have to be a positive person. And that's one thing that has kept me going. I've been pulled down, but they never succeeded in pulling me down. I always remained where I wanted to remain.
Get back up, you dust yourself off, and you start all over again.
I don't think I ever went down. People out there thought, that, hey, we succeeded, we've brought her down, but I never went down. I stayed positive. I believe that why you have these obstacles in your life
to make you stronger.
It is to make you stronger. God gives you learning experiences. I have learned a lot in my life, and it just brings you more closer to God, because realistically, think about it, not to make this a whole spiritual show, but to think about it. I mean, when we're happy, when we're in good times, do we really think of God? No. When we're in bad times, that's when we pray to God, help us.
Oh, God help me.
So, that's why I would tell you is just, be positive. When you're out there, you have a lot of competition. You have people out there who will think they can do it better. But you know what? You just do your best and be positive and believe in yourself and go after what you want. I did that. And I'm still doing it.
And you're doing a great job. So Bindhu.
I hate when somebody says so Bindhu, because you know some spice is going to happen right now.
Well, you know, our audiences know you, of course, with the IET television program.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, another television person in the community, Mr. Dheeraj.
Mm-hmm.
And
Who's he? Only kidding, folks.
well, you're both in the media. You both have lives together. And I'm sure everybody's just wondering. Everybody knows a little bit about what's going on with you guys not being together anymore. So viewers want to know, is there anyone special in Bindhu's life today?
Okay, just to, well, yes. Dheeraj is a past, and people, we've moved on. Everybody's moved on in life. Yes, to answer it without being blushing, yes, there is somebody new in my life. Has been for a while.
Good. She is blushing, guys. That's good. That's
no,
good. Good to see you smiling.
Yeah, you know, honestly, and folks, if I may be conceited right now, I think I deserve some happiness now. I've been through a lot in my life. Yes. So, you know, as far as the personal front is concerned, Lakshmi, yes, to answer your question, yes, there is somebody in my life. I won't say who. Okay. And even if I say who it is, nobody out there would know him.
You know what? It's kind of better that way.
Yes, I don't want to say, but he's, you know, amazing. I don't think I've ever said that about any other man before. Yes, he's amazing. He's keeps me going. What else should I say? I would just, yes, very supportive, very understanding. I would just say that I'm at a good point in my life right now. You know, because of the whole spirituality deal, it's true what they say, that souls can connect.
Well, Bindhu, it was wonderful having you here on Let's Talk with Lakshmi. Want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I can't wait to find out what she's doing in 6 months. So when you do, I'm going to invite you back here. So we're going to let everybody know what's going on, because I know everybody wants to know what's going on with Bindhu.
Thanks for giving me all the love. Thanks for supporting me. And Lakshmi, thanks for having me on today.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoa, let's talk with Lakshmi. Here we go now, here we go now. Whoa, let's talk with Lakshmi. Bring the artists, bring the dancers. Whoa, let's talk with Lakshmi. Again now. Topics, let we chat now.